Hi, my name is Maria and welcome to my channel MH Books. And today I just realised I have to look down on my laptop because even though it's really simple, I keep getting this wrong. So keep getting it. This is the second time I tried to film it, so I'm trying to get it. So it's part of the Books in My Bag campaign. So I've seen this on Eric Carroll Anderson's channel this morning and I realised, oh my god, today was the day I was supposed to be buying books and I bought them yesterday. And I can't really justify buying books 2 days in a row. So it is Bookshop Day, sponsored by Books Are My Bag. I seen Eric Carroll Anderson's channel this morning. I'm sure we're going to see a lot of the British YouTubers. They are booktubers, sorry. It is a campaign run in the UK and Ireland about buying and embracing what do they say? It's a national collaboration, so nationwide. It's even more than nationwide because UK and Ireland are two different countries, between publishers, bookshops and authors to celebrate high street bookshops and the joy they bring to readers of all ages. So if you see my book hauls, they're far too big. I do get some online, I get some in charity shops, but I make a concerted effort to buy books. And Eric Carroll Anderson was talking about all the shops he was going to go to today, and then I'm seeing his Twitter feed during the course of the day and he's in all these shops buying all these wonderful books. And I will be in London in January. I was going to be October, it's now been moved to January, and I will be visiting some of those, ran out of battery again, some of those bookshops. So, I mean, Stephanie I've been to before, I was there last June, but there's a few others he's mentioned on his channel, so I'm linking his channel down below. Fully recommended. He's talking about his favourite bookshops in London. I thought, well, I'll talk about my favourite in Dublin, and I'll use the ones I went to yesterday. And one that I didn't go to yesterday because it's around the corner from where I work, and I'm there like every second day, so I probably was there the day before. But yesterday, it was a very stressful day in work. And I thought, I couldn't even go home straight away on the bus. I had to, go for a walk before I got a bus. So I walked across town. I went past Lear Street and I went past a shop, an independent bookshop I'd never been in before. So this is my first time in this one. And it's supposedly the oldest one. It's not 1978 to 2018 according to its bookmark. And it's Book Upstairs. And it's I was very stressed in this shop. I was still winding down. But from what I could see through my stressed out state, it was a wonderful shop. I also saw Jessica Traynor there. She was going to a meeting upstairs, so I couldn't get to talk to her. But Jessica Traynor is a poet, an Irish poet. She used to work reading scripts for the Abbey Theatre. She now works in one of the museums. I can't remember which museum she works in, but she's in the literary scene in Dublin, and she was the best creative writer teacher I've had. There's two really good ones I've had. She's one of them because she's completely not a book snob. I've had another poet who's a creative writing teacher, and he was a terrible book snob, and so was the class, and I kind of quit that class because I read literary fiction. I don't know an awful lot about poetry, even though I've written a teeny tiny bit. I don't know what I'm doing. I totally don't know what I'm doing. But I love genre fiction as well, as people know, and yeah, so you have to deal with me. So, Book Upstairs. See, this is supposed to be quick. I'm never quick. I bought the second in a series that a lot of people would have seen on Simon Savage's channel. I haven't read the first one yet. I really need to. But I've seen this in the LGBTQ plus section. It's pages for her. So I have pages for you. Everybody who reads it, and I think they've all read it on Simon Savage's recommendation, have loved it. And I am now committed to buying it, to reading it. And then, as I was on Lear Street and I was winding down and getting into the book buying buzz, I decided to go to Hodges Figgis. And what I might do is actually just show the pictures of these shops. The picture for Books Upstairs is actually a picture I took for Twitter, but the rest of them are going to be stuff I find on the internet. So Hodges Figures is the oldest bookshop in Ireland. It's 250 years old, had many owners. It's now owned by Waterstones, but it's been owned by Virgin. It's been owned by everybody. They say they closed the shop for 2 hours one time during the change of ownership, but other than that, they've never closed their shop, besides Christmas Day and their normal days. But so you would have seen this yesterday in my impromptu TBR for Bookshelf-a-thon. So I picked up this based on how they had curated it. They had actually just pushed it out in the front of the shelves. Slender Man. I had no idea what it was about. I seen the beautiful cover, like a magpie, attracted to the beautiful cover. Now realising this is a bit of an internet phenomenon. And it's was actually referred to in Supernatural, which is a TV series which I actually rather enjoy. So again, some horror genre there. Then I had lunch. May have tweeted while I was at lunch, and I went, "For the hell with this, I'm going to go to my favourite independent bookshop," and that is the Gowar Bookshop. There we go. There's the bookmark. I didn't get our bag this time. The Gowar Bookshop gets its name from an Oscar Wilde quote: "We are all in the gutter, but some of us are looking at the stars." It's actually written there. I actually probably know it now because I've gone past that shop so often. As well as in it. And while I was there, I picked up 2 books. So people would have seen in a previous haul, I picked up a Mia Gallagher book from a secondhand bookshop. And so this is a collection of her short stories. And you gotta love blurbs. So Mike McCormick, who wrote Solar Bones, says Gallagher's hold on the short story form is always sure and sympathetic. This collection is a marvel. Beautiful. I love French flats too. I am such a sucker for pretty books. So short stories. I usually read short stories around Christmas time. I actually have a different plan for Christmas now, and I might actually just put it in this video because I was talking about it earlier this morning. The second book I bought, and the thing I like about the Gowar Bookshop, now this is not where it came from, so I'm just, as an aside, one of the reasons it's my favourite is it has one of the best staff picks I've ever seen. Or their taste is similar enough to mine, as eclectic as mine. So if you want to actually, to pick up books based on the staff picks and staff recommends, I really recommend you go into that. In Ireland, in Dublin, it's in the Temple Bar, but they do have another shop, and I don't know where it is, but I'll put it down below. I'll look it up because it's in another town in Ireland in case you're there. But, and I do like there's only like 1 or 2 copies. It's a smaller shop and you can actually see things you don't normally see, which is how I seen this one. So this is The Strays by, it's Emily Bitto. That's an O in the end of her name. Oh wow. It was in the staff fix. Oh, it was in the staff fix. I didn't pick this one up off the shelf. I picked this one up off the shelf. This was, and I went, oh yeah, that's Mia Gallagher. This is what I picked from the staff picks because it's won a whole load of awards, and that's how they say this book has won a load of awards, and rightly so. So that's why I picked up this one, and I'm totally trusting in their taste. Wow, I am such a wonderful booktuber. I can remember everything, and I prepare so well for my videos. Now, so that was my shopping yesterday. So let's say I did that shopping today and I was part of that shopping phenomenon. The other one I work around the corner from, so I would have bought this about 2-3 days ago. I buy on a regular basis. They're the bane of my existence. It's Chapters Bookstore, which is not the Chapters chain, which I think is either America or Canada. It's not that chain. It's an independent bookstore. Just happens to have a similar name because, obvious name for bookstore. But in Ireland, it is, I think, the biggest independent. There's one in Galway, Alfie Burns, which has amazing secondhand bookshop. Chapters has a secondhand section on the top. Hopefully I'll get a picture for this. and discount section on the bottom, but they will say sell full price books in the bottom as well. So it's definitely the largest one, I think, that's independent. That's it, it's one shop. While I was there, I got, as most people know, I'm doing, so I got this in the secondhand department, so with the prices at the back, it's secondhand, so it's a really good copy, you wouldn't really know. I got my Elizabeth Taylor book in a summer season, so that's about the 10th book. So I think there's 12 books we're reading as part of the Elizabeth Taylor reading project. I'll put the link to the Goodreads group below. So I managed to pick up another one of them. And then, you know, as I'm trying to do Victober, trying to read spooky reads, spending all my time shopping when I should be reading, but I wanted to read Sheridan and LeFanu, Kamila, which is the original, well, I don't think there is an original, I think there's a legend before this, but it's one of the original things that would have, vampire stories that would have, as far as I understand this, would have influenced Bram Stoker's Dracula, which a lot of people are reading, rightly so, for Victober. And it's in the collection in a glass darkly. So I picked that up from their discounted section. So that would be about, I think it was €4.50. But while I was there, because me being me, I picked up Uncle Silas because it looked really good. I'm tempted to say I'll read this for Victober and for a spooky thing crossover, but you should probably know I have far too many. And so that is the end of my book haul. There's just one more thing. I'm going to stop you for a sec. Well, there was I looking at Eric Anderson's channel to get the shortlist for the novel category of the Books in My Bag Reader Awards, and you ran out of battery on me. So this is probably a completely different angle, different lighting, but you know, this is about 20 minutes later, but you should be charged enough to actually film now, but you are connected to my iPad, so, my laptop, so you should be fine. So just quickly moving on, the shortlist for the Readers Awards for the Books in Our Bag includes 6 books. This illustrates how bad my book buying is. Okay, 2 are on my wish list, but I haven't bought them yet. I haven't bought the Music Shop by Rachel Joyce because I haven't read The Pilgrimage of Howard Fry yet, and I'm not allowing myself to buy it because I'm not buying it. That's it. You're not allowed to buy Marie, you know, go away. Unless you see it in a secondhand shop, very cheap. And the other one is I don't have yet is Home Fire by Kamila, Shamsie, which I'm just again waiting to come up in a charity shop, I think. Do that sometimes with hyped books. But the other 4 I have, and this is probably about correct, you know, percentage wise. Of the 4, I've only read 1, so 3/4 of the books for this sitting on my shelves I haven't read yet, but I really want to, and I shall put in my Christmas plans as part of this. Okay, so the one I've read, and I really do highly recommend this, is The 7 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle, called The 7.5 in the States, I believe. Recommend, if you are doing this on audio, that you borrow a book from the library or ask somebody for a photocopy of their maps. But more importantly is your list of characters. Okay, so list of characters there. And the reason for that is because this is a combination of Groundhog Day and Quantum Leap and Agatha Christie. So it's a murder mystery, but he ends up in somebody else's body every day. If he goes to sleep or he dies, he ends up in somebody else's body and he restarts the day again. So you need to know who all the characters are, because he's going to meet himself as the other characters several times, and it all gets very complicated. So it is very handy to be able to look at the front of the book. So I really recommend this to any fan of Quantum Leap, Groundhog Day, or Agatha Christie. It's great fun to read. Maybe this is actually quite heavy, physically heavy. So if I think the paperback probably has the map in the front as well, so you might want to consider people who don't like heavy books. Then the other books I have is Bernhard MacLaverty's Midwinter Break, and I'm so ashamed to say I've had this and not read it. I pre-ordered this book, Tin Man by Sarah Winman. So both of these need to be read, but I think this one is coming soon to my brain. I'm thinking for Christmas, I think I called it this morning Big Adventure Books, but what I'm not, this is probably not the right word, but I'm thinking of is, you know how at Christmas you see all these really big movies or big mini series and they put out specifically for Christmas on TV, and they're bigger and brighter, you know what I mean, and full of so I'm thinking about reading stories that big, full of adventure, full of in your face characters and, you know, story. And one of them I think is going to fit perfectly, I hope, into this is The Mermaid and Mrs. Hancock, which I haven't read yet, which I really, really, really need to. Oh, this light is odd. Yeah, which I really, really need to, and because it's so shiny. So it looks Christmassy. So I think that's what I'm going to be doing for December, because, you know, October's some spooky reads. There might, and October, and November might be a little bit of the non-fiction November, a little bit catch up in places here and there, because I've borrowed some books from people. I need to read them to get them back, so it might be that. So it might be a little bit more like that. Whereas, so I think that might be my Christmas theme rather than short stories this year. So big, bold, full of narrative, big character books. So that might be where I'm going to read my Kate Atkinson as well, the current one. So this is me wrapping up. I go on and on and on. Apologies. Tell me what books shops you like to shop in your town, but on your channel actually, or down below. Or if you commented on Eric's channel, just tell me and I'll go over and have a look. Meanwhile, I hope whatever you're reading, you're enjoying it. Goodbye for now. Bye bye.